everybody, and welcome back to Sisterly Sparks. I am Orange Spark.
The Perp Spark.
And I'm Pink Spark.
And today we are going to be discussing the topic of love. On our Facebook page, we did put out some posts to kind of get some interaction and some feedback on what love is to people and, how people can show love and things of that nature. So before we dive into that, we always want to check in and see how the Sparks are doing. So Purple and Pink Spark, how are you guys feeling? Where are you guys at mentally?
Better. Still fighting every day, but nothing to complain about.
Okay. Purple Spark.
No complaints here. Let's get this thing going. No, I'm cool in a good spot.
Sounds like a news anchor.
Oh no, yeah, can't say there was any complaints this last week. Busy, but yeah, good. So yeah, we just gonna keep it there. I'm here. I'm smiling.
Period. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You?
Well, Orange Spark is Orange Spark. Last week I was, fighting for my life, and I wouldn't say too much has changed, except I do feel like I'm drowning a little bit. So it is what it is. We did bury our friend this past weekend, so rest in peace forever, Damo. That was very hard. So just trying to cope with that after, and life is life, and I think it's easy, and it's not a topic for today, but it's very easy for me to pretend to be okay. And I think this week I've started to realize that I'm not as okay as I say that I am. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm okay, and I'm going to be okay, and I'm going to keep doing what I need to do each day as if I'm okay. So
that is a well-needed topic of discussion.
For sure.
Because we do mask that, and I mean, we could only do it for so long now.
Right.
And sometimes that's when the worst comes out, when we try to keep masking different situations or the same thing or whatever. And then all of a sudden there's like outbursts. There's, and it taints your image a little bit, like without you even knowing, because you're just you have all these different feelings and everything because you kept everything so bottled up. Anyway, yeah, it's not for today, but yes, right. Well needed discussion topic.
Yes. Yep. So I think we should go ahead and dive right into love. And Purple Spark, I know you've done some research, and I think we can start off talking about what love is, what the definition of it is, and then we can just kind of stem off from there.
Okay, so and I actually just looked it up again, which I wrote it down, but so love can be either a noun or a verb. The two definitions for the noun version is one, it's an intense feeling of deep affection. The second one is a great interest and pleasure in something. Like how someone have love for like a sport or something or whatever. So at the end, love in the verb form, which would be, I guess, what I like sort of veer to, because I'm all about the action part, basically. But it feel deep affection for like someone or something, And then the second one is like or enjoy very much. Like just an immense amount of happiness for something or somebody or what have you.
Okay. Okay.
And then
So
also too, and I don't know if we want to bring it up now, what have you, but I just so I wrote down 5 meanings or I don't know if you want to call them qualities or meanings of love, which are words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. And I
they
want
fall
all of
under your
us,
love language.
huh?
Like, what is your love language?
Is that basically what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and I want us to sparingly, or I don't know how we're going to do it, but like label those in order of importance, what we feel like it's more important to us, from, the highest to the lowest. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we can start there. Um, so with these love languages, I do want to note that it's important because just because the love languages that I have for me to receive love, if I use my love languages to show you love, if we don't have the same love language, you're not going to receive it as I'm intentionally trying to love you and pour into you and show you this love and affection, because those aren't your love languages. That's how I like to be shown that I'm loved. So it's important in any relationship where there is love that you make sure you know what their love language is, so that you can do those. And some of them you may have to go out of your way to do because they may differ from yours, and it's okay. But you can't say, like, if their love language is words of affirmation, and you go and clean the dishes, and you feel like they should love you for that, and it's like that's an act of service. That's not that's not their love language. That may be yours. Oh, I would love if somebody would do this for me, so let me do this for somebody. And that's good and great, but if that's not their love language, they're not going to receive it how you expect it, because that's not how they receive love. So mine, I listed, which will come as a shocker to some of you for the first one. It shocked me, but it's very true, and that's for another day. But high at number 5 for the top strongest, and I might have ranked them backwards, like, now that I'm thinking about it. I did 5 as the strongest just because the number was bigger, but I guess maybe number 1 should have been like, which one is number 1, 2, 3. Anyway, physical touch is my first one. That's the highest on my list, and it's very conflicting, just because I'm not I don't accept physical touch from everyone. Only from certain few. So although it is true that is my love language, I do not accept that from everyone. So the next one would be quality time. I enjoy spending time with those that I love. Acts of love, I think, just little gestures. It's the small things for me that really just warm my little heart. So receiving gifts, that one is crazy because, like, I like to receive gifts, but it's also nerve-wracking to receive gifts. So that's a thing. And then words of affirmation. And I think words of affirmation is great. And I think that I just became accustomed not to hearing them as much. So I think that's why it's ranked so low. But then also, I don't know that I'm going to believe you if you say them anyway. So bottom of the list for me. Yeah, I would definitely say there's some trauma response in all of, like, in the order of what these go, but that's just what it is for me and right now. So yeah.
Um, for me personally, I would say if I ranked them like how I would like to receive love would be, I think acts of love would be number one, and then followed up with words of affirmation. That used to be something I was in denial about, not thinking I need to be affirmed if people love me. But also, I realized like through anxiety, it showed up time and time again. So then I realized, okay, I do need reassurance.
Right.
um, and then I would say physical touch. I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't receive physical touch from just anyone. Um, I used to not be a hugger for the longest, but honestly, I love hugs. Like, it's like as soon
You
as I
give
give a
great
hug,
hugs.
yes,
Argue,
because
Isla.
it's like it'd be so like not a norm, and so when I do get it or receive it, it's like, OMG, like this is what I've been needing. Who knew I needed a hug? Like that's what was wrong. I just needed a hug, a lay on your shoulder, something. Um, I would say quality time would be the next one. I feel like the best way to, I guess, show that love is to be in each other's presence, whether it be, in person, over the phone, like, just somewhere it was like quality time just carved out for us to be able to just be. And then receiving gifts. Of course, I think everyone likes to receive gifts. I do too, but it's not like it's expected. Like it would be nice, but it's not high on my expectation list of receiving gifts. So those are mine.
Damn. I mean, dang. Sidebar. Sidebar. Listen, y'all. I'm tired, okay? So you may not get like normal Tanya. Listen, I look tired. I'm actually tired. If I yawn, it's not out of disrespect or anything. I'm really working on like a couple hours of sleep, but we're getting this done tonight, okay? Um, and I slipped up and said a word I shouldn't have said, so I apologize. But I just felt like she really just gave my list for real. Literally, like I feel like that's the order for me as well. Like for me, it's always going to be ranked the highest as acts of service because I
Mm-hmm.
just always feels like, people can tell you anything.
Yep.
People can say whatever, but it's actually what they show you is what you should go by because what
Mm-hmm.
people show you is really what it is. They're showing exactly who they are, what they want, and who you are to them. So that's always gonna be ranked high for me. I don't know about all the other ones. Yeah, words of affirmation. I'm like Pimp. Initially I don't think I felt that it mattered, but
Mm-hmm.
you go around though hearing so much negativity and stuff so much and people downing you for things or always pointing out your like the bad things and the flaws and all that to
Mm-hmm.
where I think I just adopted like, you know what? Can you say something nice first? At
Yeah.
least. Can you even start with something nice and then lead into anything else like all the other bad stuff? So just like reaffirming somebody about anything or about something, even if it's like something small, just to reaffirm the the affirmation of either you doing a good job or you're a good person or like I appreciate you or something simple. So
Cast out them
I
doubts
appreciate
that be creeping in.
yeah, I appreciate that a lot. So that would have to be my second highest. Um it's a toss up between quality time and physical touch only because quality time, yes, I want it, but at the same time, I need my space.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, but when I want that quality time, I actually want it. Like it's actually needed, not a want. It's the actual need at that time when it's necessary. I don't need much of it, but when I need it, I need it.
Right.
So, and then the physical touch, we were not like a really big physical touch type family. We didn't really do too much hugging and too much affirmations and too much building up or talking up or anything like hugging and all. We didn't do none of that. So I really didn't get too accustomed to it. Now it is like few that, because of the dynamic or because of the relationships built or whatever, like Cor said, like, it's very select, limited to where that's done just automatically and without any type of weirdness around it. But I mean, if it happens, it happens. I don't feel no type of way about it. However, I feel like one of the things that I don't think that I paid attention to was, like Cora said, backstage, was about our what we label or what we deem that as. Somebody may not, like, so I don't too much care about it, but somebody else may, and we don't pay attention to that. So, and I'm not thinking that in my head. I'm just thinking about what I feel instead of the other person. So, and the other person may need that physical touch, and they may value that more than what I value my first two, right? And I'm not thinking about it. I'm just thinking, yeah, well, I don't think nothing of it. I don't think it's nothing wrong. But I mean, that can cause some friction. So we got to pay attention to, like Cora said, we have to pay attention to other people's languages and how other people label and what they rank their top 5 as well. So, and then, so I don't know. So them two would be a toss up, I guess, like really hand in hand. And then the last one would be receiving gifts from me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I like to receive gifts. However, I need them to be like heartfelt. I need them to be thoughtful and
With intention.
yeah, with intention. And I feel like if it's not, then I don't want it. And then that will be a problem because it's like I'm seen as ungrateful, and it's not that, but I just view it as, why would you even want to get somebody something if it's not gonna be heartfelt or thought about or anything? Like, don't just throw me anything or give me anything. Like, it's
Narcissism.
just what you say?
Narcissism.
Like, I don't. So yeah, I mean, I guess I have a yeah, but yes, I love big gifts, like surprises, like surprise me with something. Like,
But with you though, with you being all about like action, do you feel like certain actions can be a gift, or does it have to be like physically something or materialistic?
that's a good question. Hmm. Mm. Yeah, it can actually be action because for me, I'm so like low maintenance. You really don't have to really too much spend too much. Like, it really do be the thought. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just being thought of, being thought about, like
Yeah.
being just a little bitty minute part of somebody's day, like, that you're thought of, and somebody may think to I don't know, just whatever you value or whatever, and somebody just all of a sudden fixes the problem or handles something or anything
Like
it,
step
yeah,
in, step in, take charge type thing. Like I
yeah,
like it
like
when people like I read people a lot. So like when people read me and they know like how to show up or where to fill in that space or that gap, I feel like that's like a gift in a way for me personally because it's like I could have done it, but thank you for taking the burden for me. You know,
right,
or that you got me this, but really the gift for me was the fact that you even thought about me. You put in the work to do it for me, and you had the intentions to give it to me so I could receive it. So mine is like, it wasn't even just about, oh, that you got me this. It's the fact that you went and did all this for me. That's the gift for
right.
me.
It's the
Like, yeah.
intention. It's the fact that you paying attention. Like you're
Yes.
actually like
You
you're not
care.
just
You
there,
care.
just
Thank you.
right.
Right.
Like it's just caring. Like
Yeah.
show you care a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, those are my order of importance for the languages.
Interesting. And it's crazy how similar y'all's are.
No,
Yeah.
that's why I was like, damn, like for real.
I know when I see it on the
Yeah.
Facebook post, you said that how you were all about action. I was like, that's me. Like people's action is the blueprint. Like I've been
Listen,
disappointed so many times going off people's word, but they action wasn't mathing with what they were saying. So I was getting the wrong. Something was that it wasn't adding up.
Uh-huh.
listen, sometimes I will tune people out and I would just watch. Like,
Yep.
and people
Yep.
get so mad. Some people get so mad because I do that, but you hear stuff for so long and so much and whatever. You know what I mean? I just
Mm-hmm.
let me see. Can I see?
Yeah. Let
It
me
just
see
gonna tell
something.
me. Let me
Show me
just see.
something.
Like, and too, like it's so much going on nowadays where people just say anything. People
Yeah.
just
What you
they
want to
can
hear?
tell you anything to try to sway you any type of way. So for me, being the is it passive or person that I am to always like giving people grace or chances, I will be victim to that. So
Yeah.
to help myself, all right, I hear you. I mean, yeah, I heard what you said, but I'm not. Let me see.
I want to
Let me
see it.
see it.
It's crazy because I was gonna say, shoot, I personally like it used to be a survival tactic, and it still is to a certain extent. But now I know more of who I am and how I show up. I don't allow people to even try to play with me like that. You're not about to play with
Period.
me. And people get mad because you can, because it's like they get mad because you can see they BS from a mile away. You're upset because I pay attention. I sit back and listen. That's why like people hate it when I go mute. Because, baby, I'm reading you like a book.
A book, okay, a
I'm about to
thick
tell you what you
chapter
about to
book.
do and everything.
Yes,
And be mad because I'm accurate. I don't
yes,
like to be
that
right. I
part.
don't like to be right. I really don't. I've been trying to mind my business. Sometimes I even try not to look. And it still be at my
Sometimes I
door.
wish I be wrong when I say
Yes.
things. Like
Sometimes
for
I
real, I
intentionally
wish
try to
somebody
be
can
wrong.
prove
And
me
still.
right.
And still. Got that aim on point.
Right.
Man.
But that I think allows for certain people not to have certain amount of access to you
Yeah.
because they know that, oh, she ain't playing, like I gotta show up. Or like I be telling people now, like when people try to talk or try to be like, come correct or don't come at all, because
Period.
you're wasting my time and I don't want to
Right.
have to
Nobody
read you
has
your
time.
rights. I don't want to read you your rights. I don't want to teach you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done being a teacher. Okay, come
Right.
Period.
correct or not at all. And I'm okay with the not at all sometimes. A lot of times, really. I
So
don't know.
it's crazy because I'm in that situation now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like you to a degree where it's just the not at all. And I
Yeah.
will suffer so quick. And I think that that is a defense mechanism, like keep me
Mm-hmm.
safe from you. So I found myself trying to give the benefit of the doubt and not severing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's hard and it's challenging, and I feel like mentally and emotionally I've already checked out.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing left to check out is physically. So it's been a learning process, and having to step back and realize, like, okay, I believe this to be true because this is what was said, but now this is what I'm seeing is actually happening and true, and how you feel. So it's like, what do I do with that? So having to reevaluate everything and trying to see, like, is it going to be worth continuing? Are we able to move past this, and in a sense, just, I would have to take a mental note and move accordingly, or is it just healthier for us both to call it quits?
I think it's a dangerous game when you kind of go back and like reevaluate everything. And I say that because if you just now are starting to notice like the stuff isn't adding up, like you're starting to see just more of the actions isn't adding up with the words, you got to sometimes, like, going backwards will make you kind of stuck. And sometimes you just got to say duly noted, and then going forward, this is where I will place you. This is how it will be. This is how it's going to go going forward. Because going all the way back, it has you like questioning so many things. And then in the relationship altogether.
Right.
And I've done that. It's like it's a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole.
I think that's why I'm actually so messed up, because I do that same exact thing. I am one to like veer to go all the way back. Like, okay, especially if I said something and now I'm like, now I gotta question everything. I will like replay everything, like, and then just make friction and stuff from
way
other stuff, right? And it should be in the now, but because now I know, and I'm just now finding out and going back to that, like,
yeah, it's not. It ain't even worth it. It's emotional toll.
Like, yeah, it does play a negative toll too. Like some things and issues we have to deal with. It's okay to look to the past to get some things from, but some things, like you're saying, you just have to, you really do have to chunk it up. You have to just, like, you have to eat it and be like,
take your L, be like, if you was moving malicious back then.
And it's hard. Not saying that it's easy. Not saying that it's
definitely.
like, it's like what we're saying, like, just do it. Like, we're not Nike, but you have to you have to get
I just got on. Hold on now.
No, but you have to get to you have to mentally tell yourself, like, and then just be more adamant from now on, and start to look deeper.
But can you have, I think the problem I'm having is, if you have to look at someone and say, well, now I see how you feel about me, what you think, and how you move, and now I got to move accordingly. Can you truly have a genuine relationship going forward?
Ooh,
without
good question.
Wondering,
I think it would take time. Like, I think it would take time, and it also depends on like the level of importance and impact that relationship has. But it will definitely take time, because it's going to be that back and forth for a while. And also ask yourself, are you genuinely okay with the relationship going the way that it may have to go? In some relationships, you're like, no, I'm not okay with how we are now moving. That I don't want that to be that way. But then other times it's like, I don't want it to be that way, but I'm willing to still do it because I want to still have some sort of connection with you. But it takes time. It takes trial and error for sure.
For sure.
Like, you won't know until you in it, really. You can't even try to predict and come up with a plan. Like, you really won't know until you're actually in it. And then that's when you'll have that feeling when it's like, yeah, I don't think this is worth it anymore. Like we're better off with what we had and then just leaving it where it's at and moving forward.
This thing really is like a day-to-day process for me
It is.
because listen, I'm telling y'all, one, I really don't feel like I am for anybody. Like, I mean, I have love for everybody. I care for everybody. I enjoy everybody, all that. But like connection wise, because of me having the trust issues, because of me always feeling like somebody's trying to get over in some way. So once again, they could say anything. On top of them saying anything, now even though you want to see action too, like they can also perform as well. How do you know what they're showing isn't
A performance.
a script?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know that? And so my problem is I veer too deep with stuff. Sometimes I try not to, but I can't help it sometimes. And I don't know when to choose not to look too deeply into things and just take stuff for what it is. But then again, if things happen to you, like you get lied to, or you get manipulated and whatever, then what? Then it would have been, well, you should have, or you should have seen this, or you should have paid attention to this. And so how do I choose? Like, you know what I mean? How do I choose how much attention to pay to certain stuff, or how much to think too deeply onto certain things without affecting the whatever kind of relationship it is? Like, that's what I'm having problems with, because it's really hard. And because I do things so deeply and take stuff so deeply, I don't play about any of this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, like Cam Newton said with his dog self. But like, for real, like, you have to don't play with me when it comes to any part of
Love.
Don't play with it. I don't.
Society, they think love is something that you can just play with and stumble on. It's like, and it may sound, what I'm about to say is probably gonna sound crazy because it just shows how much I've grown. But also, like, when with that question that you're asking, but isn't that just like the journey of love? Like being hurt, going through that process, you know what I mean? You, of course, love isn't supposed to hurt, but it does. You know what I mean? Not everybody's perfect. Not everybody knows how
Right.
to show up that way or to take it as serious as we do. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people, believe it or not, people say they loyal, but they ain't. You know what I mean? Like, if we could be on bad terms, I would still be loyal. And a lot of people, they loyalty, they love stop when y'all not on good terms.
Oh man, I hate that. Like, why? Because you don't see eye to eye to something, and
Mm-hmm.
now it's just all
You ain't never
bad.
loved me.
It's
You can't know. You don't know how to love me. How can you love me? Like,
right.
what? The point of love is
Where
to
did
love a
that come in
person
at?
through all their seasons, not just the ones you like, not just the
Mm-hmm.
ones that gratify you. Like, you supposed to love a person good, bad, and ugly, and that's not just with a partner.
Unconditionally,
Unconditionally. Yep.
without conditions. Can we go here? Can we each define in our terms what we feel like it is to us?
What,
Love?
unconditional love or love in general?
Just period. Love, period. Just what is love to you? Like, whether it's coming from something, someone, um, you to something, someone, what do you feel like it is? Like, based on the definitions I said earlier, and in your own view, your own, what would, if somebody came to you, like, let's just say I say, Cora, I love you. What would you take from that? Would you believe me? Would you have questions about it? Would you have doubts about it? Would you like what does it mean when somebody says that to you? What are you thinking about?
That's interesting. So when it comes to you, if you tell me, no, when you tell me that you love me, I believe you wholeheartedly. At no point in my life have you shown me anything different. You show up. You've been an ear to hear, a shoulder to cry on. You've been support. Um, you 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 show up and you allow me to authentically be me, right or wrong. And that doesn't mean that you don't tell me when I'm wrong, but you love literally who I am, and you're okay and accepting of who I am. So I believe you wholeheartedly, and I think, and I know that even if I were to piss you off like real bad, you don't even want to talk to me, I know that that love wouldn't change, and then we just gonna have to loop back around and figure that out.
Right.
But like, it's not, it's unconditional with you, and I know even if I do get to a point where access denied, you gotta step back and do distance, which this hasn't happened, but I'm just saying in general,
Right.
like the love, I know, because I know you, I know that the love would still be the same, but it would just have to be at a distance. When I think about love, it's, first of all, love is hard for me to receive in general. Like it's hard to accept it, and that's a whole nother something. But we were listening to those videos yesterday of Aaliyah, and she naturally just said these words, and I knew for me that I love that baby with everything in me. My entire heart, she has it. And it's not, for some people it's hard to love children that are not biologically theirs, and I had no problem doing such things. But it just melts my heart. And Aaliyah, I know that she loves me, and she loves me for me, and she loves me hard, and she loves me in a way that I never would have expected. The things that she says to me, and for her to say, she knows someone who will never ever stop loving her, ever, ever, ever. Like, she's right. She's so right, especially when it comes to me. Like, that will never change. And at no point, like, and I know people get confused with my me and Aaliyah's relationship, because I'll call her my daughter, say that that's my baby, because she is those things to me and in my heart. But, and that's not to take away from her family. Like, I completely acknowledge them. So at no point do I ever, have I ever told her like, oh, I'm your mom, or oh, I'm this, or oh, I'm that, because I never want to take away from what she has, because I'm grateful she has what she has. But she, along the way, I do let her know that I love you, and I show up and I'm there. And I just pour my love into her in the best way that I can, and she receives that. It's not something that I have to like drill into her, but she just knows that when it comes to me and her, love is unconditional. And it was just, I cried for the longest when just the life she speaks back into me, and when she expressed this, the love that she has for me, and her understanding of the love that I have for her, completely blew my mind. So to me, and I think her being a child is also a part of that, like, just genuine love, because when you get kids, they just gonna tell you like it is. I mean, they not about to sugarcoat. They don't care nothing about your feelings. They care nothing about your feelings. So that, for me, it just, if ever like I had to be put in the mind frame of love, it is, and I would say is, Aaliyah is a perfect, like, our relationship is a perfect example of that. I mean, from me to her, but also her to she shows her love for me. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, it do. I just like to know, like, just like Pimp just asked me about, like, if someone just did like a act of service or something, would it be like a gift or whatever? It's the same. I feel like it's the same sort of thing. Like, how would you view, like, would you believe somebody when they actually tell you they love you, or do you think they're just saying it just because we throw that word around all the time? And do you believe that they even know what that actually is? And or do you think they know on a level, on your level of it, and if they don't give you the level that you view it as, how do you take that? Do you receive it good? Do you reject it? Do you question it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all, I don't know, I just feel like it's all kinds of.
Yeah, and for me it's hard. I mean, right out the gate, it's hard for me to receive love, period, point blank. It don't matter who it is, it don't matter the situation. Yes, it's hard, and it's always been baffling to me because I feel like I love real hard and I can extend that love, so I know that that love is possible, and it's just impossible for me to receive. Like, there's no way that you can love me as much as I love you. There's it's impossible. There's no way that you can love me that much. And then once you say that you do and claim that you do, why?
Right.
Why? How? Because I'm not believing you. I'm not. But then there is that conditional love where
I was just gonna say, is that us putting conditions, even though we say it should be unconditional?
That's conditions.
You know what I mean?
Because you
yeah,
can offend a person saying that. Because it's gonna be like, how you don't believe that I love you? Yet they feel like they show up in certain ways. And also, it's like, don't confuse your love for yourself or lack thereof for what people have for you. Because there was times I rejected people's love because I didn't love myself, but that didn't mean that they didn't love me. It just meant that I had a issue with loving myself, and
And
I
you didn't know what
projected
that
that.
looked like or felt like.
Right, right. And love is I think the definition differs depending on the person or the relationship.
Yeah.
Um, like I can say, like with I've been knowing her since we was kids. She's like, I call her my sister. Like that, her love I know is unconditional, without expectations, and it's genuine. Like if I was to not show up the way I like to show up or do the things that I do, I know that she would still love me. She's seen me at my worst and she's seen me at my best, and she still loved me. Like she never switched up, changed, even if she didn't understand me or what I was going through or my thinking process at that time. She still showed up for me the way she knew how. And and like how you said, like she still told me if I was wrong or if I needed to do this or I needed to do that, but it wasn't from a judgmental place. Like I know her heart was genuine. However, and that's like what I mimic. Like so when I have a relationship with people, that's the type of love I like to mimic for, because I know it's genuine. But I also know with family, the definition changed. And I used to reject it. But through my healing process, I accepted the love that they know how to give. Because what I've realized, not everybody knows how to love. And not everybody knows how to love you the way you want to be loved. Sometimes they just give you the best that they got. And it's like, why should I reject it and cause some more tension in between us? And time is short. Versus let me just accept the love that they give me and know that they're just doing the best that they can with what they got.
Man, that's the word. That's the word. Oh wow.
Like with my
That's the
mother,
word
with
right
my
there.
brother, I had to let that go. I had to learn, like, they just show up and love. And I know that their love come with conditions. I know, I used to question that love, but now it's like, I know y'all love me, but you don't know how to love the way I do. You don't know how to love unconditionally because maybe you didn't receive it. So like with them, how to help my relationship with them is just to accept the love that they can give me. And that I don't, and I put up boundaries when it comes to the hurt and the disrespect or things like that, but I still allow them to love me and I accept it. And then I still show up how I want to show up. Not based off of how they love me, but based how I want to love them. And they may not like acts of words of affirmation or receiving gifts because they feel like because they love with conditions that I'm going to be having the expectation or want to receive something. No, I'm showing up because that's how I like to love people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it really does differ between who it is. And then kids love, children's love is all a thing in its own. It's a whole nother category. Like, you don't know what love is really until you get a love from a child.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
I mean, yeah,
you can go ahead.
No, you're right. Kids are before they can be before they get able to think too fully into stuff like that. Like they just do things authentically, whether it be the right way or the wrong way. They just do it. Like Cora said, there's no doubt, like whatever they're feeling or whatever they wanting you to know, whatever they let you know, like it don't be lies or none of that. They are genuinely who they are, especially at a certain age too. Like, so one authentic way or would be a child's love, like period. Like that would be the most purest form for me. Like if I'm ranking something, if I'm ranking people or whatever, like I will have no doubt. Like my daughter would tell me all the time, she loves me and I'm the best in the world and this, but it's also too how you show up for people though. I feel like there's, for you to be able to show up for somebody in a way that they may need or they may want, that'll satisfy something for them, it gives you a certain feeling. It validates something for you. It makes you feel like, one, people are listening, two, people are watching and paying attention. And like you said earlier, like they're helping you to fix something or to complete something without you even asking. I think for me, that right there is the most, I enjoy that so much. Like when somebody just decides to just do something for you out the blue, right? Or fix something. Like I would say, like an example would be for me, okay, first of all, I don't like pumping gas, okay? At all. So I will rob my car until it's like I would ride it until like I almost have no gas. But for like sometimes my nephew, he would just, Auntie, you want me to go put some gas in the car? Or like, and it be a question, but it don't be a question. It's really, I got you. Like it just little things like, or we can make dinner, right? Most times I like to clean up as I go and all that. So afterwards, because we be so full and so ready to just chill out, like you don't want to do nothing afterwards. So sometimes I would fall asleep after, I eat or something, after I cook or whatever. And I don't, before I eat my food, I don't put the food up. Something that melts my heart, which is so minute, but it's somebody to look at that and put it up for me. Don't waste
Mhm.
my food. Like
Yeah.
that simple stuff
Because
for
wasting that
me.
food will be
Like it's
wasting
like
your.
everybody purposely walking back and forth, seeing it, right? So it's not clicking like maybe she really did forget or she sleeps. So let me just put it up to preserve it instead of letting it go to waste and letting me keep walking back and forth, seeing the food sit out. Like little bitty things to show that you actually care, that you actually give a snuff. Like
A flying fladoodle.
yeah,
Okay now.
it's
Okay
just
now. Okay now. I'd rather you spell it.
shit. I'd rather you spell it. I don't
What
know.
was that?
It just does something to me for somebody just to go out their way. And sometimes it don't even have to mean you having to go out your way. It's just the fact of you care and love and have this amount of love for me, that so much so that you're gonna help me, and in helping me, which means any part of anything I'm doing or have or whatever, you're fixing a need or you're helping to solve something or whatever. Like those little things mean a lot to me. Like you, because it means you actually pay attention. My life and my schedule is so hectic and so like it's just I'm just on the go. I'm just moving. I'm moving. I'm moving. I'm moving. And sometimes I don't have time to sit down, sit back and think or breathe or anything. So some things can be left undone, or sometimes some things like um sometimes I would leave my shop, my salon, and I would think that I would leave my lights on because I would think I'm coming back to maybe even clean up or like do something else or what have you, because I have to go off to do something else. And it turns up that get to go. I don't get to go back to the salon. So now, and I'm not even thinking, damn, I left my lights on. For me, I will feel like, especially if somebody rode past or something and seen it, go cut my lights off. That's something simple. Like, don't tell me like how you that. What's that's gonna do? What is that gonna do? My fault. My fault. Like, it's okay. Just it's a flick. It's a flick. It's a flick. Just so yeah, anyway, just little stuff for me. I could just say for me. It don't have to and yeah, like that receiving gift part. I don't, if it's not intentional, if you're not, if when you go to the, like, let's say if it is like something like physical, a physical gift or something, if you walking into a store, if your mind ain't set on what would Tanya like, what would suit Tanya, what would she just cheese or smile or cry after, like what does she like or what does she love, if those sentiments are not crossing your mind, I'd rather you not get me nothing, period.
Yeah. Because don't just say, "Oh, I got you something," when the whole time you didn't have any intention about what you got me.
Right, because then it's gonna get to the point to where you seem ungrateful because,
Yep.
well, at least I got you something.
But that's
Right.
conflicting to me though, because I received a gift and they are things that I would normally be all giddy about and like cheesy, happy, would love it. Favorite color, apparently the new trend of my things, like, but I still found myself in that situation. You're ungrateful. You know, like, so I'm conflicted because you probably went in there with that mindset of, well, nope. You probably had that in mind, but I feel like maybe it was a little different in a why you were doing it.
Or with conditions. Because you can tell when a gift comes with conditions.
For sure.
despite how much effort you put into getting what's tailored for me. But if you give me a gift to soothe your conscience, when really in reality a gift would have been an apology. A gift would have been accountability. You know, people like to take shortcuts and try to go around stuff versus you could have kept your money, baby. All we needed was a real deep conversation.
Right.
Matter of fact, we don't even got to go real deep. We could have kept the surface
Scratch
level.
the surface. Yeah.
We could at least acknowledge some stuff. That would have been the gift. That's a form of manipulation, and that comes with conditions, and you can have it. You can keep it. I'm not going, so it not all gifts are like that, but
Or they
when they
give
are.
you something just to brag about it, or just to, like you said, just to say, well, I did this, so you have to, or try to control you with the gift. Like, first of all, keep it, take it back,
baby. I'm quick to. Oh,
Return.
You got this for me? Go ahead and get that back. Matter of fact, come get it. Come get it.
Right.
Come get it. Because I'm the type that if I give a gift, I do not expect to. I don't dangle it. I don't expect to take it back from you or anything.
You don't talk about it later on. You don't bring it up.
Nothing. Once I had you in mind, and this gift was for you, it was no longer mine.
Listen, I enjoy it more than y'all would probably enjoy the gift. For real, like because I feel like that's how you should be when you're getting something for somebody. Like, it should bring you joy to do something or get something for somebody, because like for me, I love doing stuff like that. If I know a person likes something or a certain thing, or it could be something small or big, it don't matter. If it's in my will to get it, if it's in my means that I can get it and I can make that happen at whatever time or whatever, I love doing stuff like that. Like, it makes me happy to make other people happy. And if making other people happy, like if I'm really paying attention to you, if I'm really looking and watching you, I'm hearing what you're saying. You may not talk directly to me, but if you're talking about what you want, what you like, all this type of stuff, and if I could be of service and I could get that, and I could make you happy for just a moment. Like, I enjoy doing that stuff. I feel like I try to do everything that I wish someone was doing for and to me. And it doesn't really bother me to do that, because I just feel like, because I didn't get it, I have so much outpouring to give and to hand out. Like, it and no, I never bring up what I do for somebody or what I give somebody, or you shouldn't do that, no way. Because then that would mean like manipulation or trying to control or any of that other stuff. Because why are you bringing up what you got me? Why are you reminding me, well, I did this? Why do you need a reminder to tell yourself what you did for somebody? What is that doing for you? What does it
motive?
And I hate that. So it is really, 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 really hard for me to accept a lot of stuff, because I am thinking like, and especially if I have to hear it so much from previous stuff or previous things or previous gifts or any of that, I'm not going to be accepting moving forward of too much of anything, because it's like, I don't want to hear that. Not that I may, but it's a not that it is going to happen, but it may happen. And I don't want that maybe to happen. So you can maybe keep it. I don't.
Yeah, I can't accept this gift. I
don't.
Because it
I
comes
don't
with
want
conditions.
it. I don't want it. If you're not gonna do it from the bottom of your heart, if you're not gonna do it just out of the pure genuine love that you got, I don't want it. I really, really don't want it. And I don't know how to show or how to make it look like I'm not being rude about it, or I'm not being disingenuous, or I'm not being whatever the word is. I'm really not trying to be that way. because if you give
Or
it something, give it,
confrontational. A
and
lot
I
of people.
appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I love when people do things, little things, or make gestures or anything. But if it's just not heartfelt or just, I can't. I'm sorry. I don't, because I won't feel it. I won't feel it, and then I'm gonna show that I don't feel it, and I
Precisely.
sense it. So what do you want me to do?
They expect you to be so grateful and to
And
put
to kiss their
aside,
feet.
huh?
And to kiss their feet.
I'm not at all.
And all.
Because it comes with like, you know, I did this for you. Like it kind of like overshadows everything.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
It's supposed to. That's what the expectation comes with. Like I did this, and it's like it's crazy how it sounds so simple. It's like the simple things can be so complex for other people. Like what we're talking about now will be complex for a lot of people because it actually tells them that they need to tap into themselves and see, is this genuine? Am I being genuine? Is this coming with conditions? What am I expecting when I give them this gift? Am I
Right.
adding this to my scoreboard? You know, people don't like to go that deep. They like to put on the facade and act like it's genuine, but whole time you got a whole scoreboard. Whole time you can't wait to bring this back up.
Can't
You got it
wait.
locked and loaded
As
for
soon
an
as you mess
argument.
up,
Yep.
all of it's thrown in
You
your face.
okay? And I intentionally take gifts from people who are like that, just so if there's a confrontation or an argument that come up, I already know what you about to say. What you about to bring up that gift that you just got me,
Because here you
or
go.
this, or what you bought me
Because
that
it's
I
still
did
right
not
here
ask
wrapped up.
for. Hello.
Do you hear me?
And that even proves my point that your intentions were not pure.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
when you're ready, you can come get it. Oh, you want your
Right.
cut back?
When you're ready, come and get it. No, no,
Uh-huh.
no, no.
No, for real. You got to be intentional with me. With me, you got to be intentional. You got to
You got to
listen.
teach people how to love you. Is what I learned because I guess we too complex in some ways.
Oh, hold on. Hold that thought, Pimp. Good segue for my question, because I need to ask a question from that. Teaching people how to love you, right? You just said that.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing as, so if I come to you and I tell you, I want to be thought about, I want you to be intentional with, let's say I am talking about, let's say, spending time or whatever. Or if it is like, getting a gift or just doing something out of the blue or whatever. And let's go relationship topic real quick, right? Let's say I come to you and I say, I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel like I'm being thought about. I don't feel like I don't feel loved. And let's say you get a response of, you have to teach me. So I understand the viewpoint of teaching someone how to love you or guiding someone or giving them like blueprints, because I don't like the word teaching and all that. I don't know. For me, mentally, it just, I don't. Anyway, but for me, I had a hard time with someone telling me to tell them when they need to think of me. Why should I tell you when to think about me?
And I think that's a valid point, because it's one thing to like give hints, or like let's say like when you think about me, Can you think about me in this way? Like give examples, suggestions, but I don't think it should be like a full list blueprint of this is how you should think about me, because then it's like you're doing the work for them. You know, if I was going to do the work for you, I could think about myself then. You know, I could buy myself flowers, you know, like stuff like that. So it's like some people, like, maybe it's like they might not know, like, what do you like to do? What is an act of service for you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they can
Yeah.
ask those questions to get the conversation going. Like, for them to, like, if I asked you, like, what are some words of affirmation for you? Or when we do spend quality time together, what would you like to do? Like, what is your interest? What are some things that, you know, that you would like to see yourself doing? I would take that and come up with a plan to execute it, but I wouldn't expect you to hold my hand and from verbatim tell me what I need to do. And it's not even just that one time. A lot of people, you can sit there and give them suggestions and tell them once, and they feel like you're supposed to remind them every single time when to think about you, when to spend quality time. No.
Yeah. So listen, okay, so let's just say you have a specific family member that you adore or that you just is really fond of, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you would do anything in the world for that family member. You would go out your way at any point, at any time, without that person telling you to go out your way for them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it happens in front of you. Okay? At the same time that I'm saying, I don't feel thought of. I don't feel like I'm getting what I deserve. And you tell me I need to tell you what to think about me.
No.
Do I look stupid? Am I tripping? Am I
Mm.
going too deep or too far into it?
No.
Because I know it's possible because I see it. I know you can do it because I'm watching you do it to
With like
others.
other people. Mm. Yeah.
What do you want me to think from that? Or what do you want me to take from that? Or how should I look at that?
I I think it feeds into what you already feel. Like, I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel like you, it feels like you're not a priority in their lives. And this and that makes you realize and reflect on the relationship. Is this one-sided? Do I show up for you all the time and you show up for me when you feel like it, if at all? Do you just receive and not give? Then that's when you start to look like, oh, okay, this has been a one-sided relationship. And people don't realize, like, even with family, they tend to attach themselves to people who are like that because they know that you're genuine, you know that you love to do it, and you see no issue doing it. So some people will attach themselves to you just to receive and give nothing, little to nothing.
And I think too, it comes down to that saying that if they wanted to, they would.
Yep. Because even with you bringing it up, that should have been a hint.
Yeah.
That should have been a conversation starter. How you take that and then turn it back on me?
Just giving
If you
gas.
wanted to, you would. Point blank, period. Or let them.
So why should I be punished for when I give the energy of what I receive? Why am I then the bad distant person? Or why am I someone who just not listening or not understanding or not expressive or anything? I'm a person I strongly I strong one because I feel so much. And
Mm-hmm.
if I verbally tell you, if I have to verbally tell you that I'm feeling some type of way or not feeling some type of way, one, if you reject anything that I'm saying, if you try to make me out to be a liar if you are neglecting that or saying that my feelings don't matter. That's going to, first of all, that's going to cut me deep. It's going to really piss me off, for one.
Is it because it took a lot for you to speak it?
Yes. And two, it's also going to make me want to do things so that you could feel the same way, so that I can see how you feel.
Because you're not hearing
with the
my
same
word.
thing, seeing that you're just dismissing minds. So I want to see. So when I do that, and I know sometimes this is just the petty part of me, but I don't care. Nobody's going to tell me that my feelings don't matter, or I don't matter, or what I want, or what I'm feeling, or what I feel like I need don't matter, or I shouldn't get, or I should tell you how and when to think of me. That's absurd to me. I'm not telling you how and when to think of me. Now, I'm telling you and expressing to you that I don't feel certain things in certain ways and I'm not getting certain things, but I would never tell somebody or guide somebody on how to treat me or when to do something for me, because I feel like if you don't do it on your own initiative, then yes, you're right. You don't want to do it. But you also have to accept the consequences that come from that, from you not wanting to do certain things. There's repercussions behind that. You're not gonna get like everything, every situation comes with some type of reaction. For me, because of the type of person I am, I could love you so deeply and hate you just the same. Or not hate, dislike. Like I could literally be in the same room with you and cannot speak to you, and I will be okay, because especially if you've shown me if you show me that you don't care, or if you show me that, and then that's another part. So if it gets to that point, sometimes my question be, why bother? Right? What's the significance of still being in the situation if you're feeling that strong and deeply and you're not getting the responses and answers and the results that you're wanting? What's left, or what's the reason for you remaining in a position that you're in? Is that a reasonable assumption or question? I feel like
I would say so.
Yeah.
I would definitely say so. And I think that they would have to go. It's giving that they feel like they're giving you enough.
bare minimum.
There's you should
Can't
be
bare minimum me.
right, and you should be grateful because I do this, even though it may not be your love language. It's it's theirs, and you should be appreciative. And I do. You already know what this is. So, like, you mentioned that they will do it for others, and their mindset could be, well, they don't know, so I gotta go, the extra mile for them to know. But me and you, like, we know what's up, so this should be fine. But at the point that it's expressed that it is not fine,
Sorry, that came out weird.
no, that's
Listen,
okay.
hold on. There's one thing there. Okay, so Pimp, was y'all right when you say, like, our languages may not equal up, and we have sometimes we may just have to understand what theirs is and vice versa. But there is another side of you just being a piece of shit. Sorry. Like, or you just, I feel like people know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I
Whether or
just
not you're
feel
gonna
that
call
way.
them out.
I feel that way. I'm. You could only sugarcoat something
For so long.
so much. Like people know what they're doing. People know when they do what they do. And I just feel like I'm just not one who you can just sucker anymore. Like I feel like my growth, I feel like the things that I've initially went through, the people I've had connections with, all that, I feel like I've learned, gained all that from them circumstances, and I see things way better. I view things way more. I value things way more. I pay attention to things way more, and I feel like now in this space, like I just can't accept BS. I can't accept. I can accept if a person is genuine to where their actions may not equal up to mine's, and but I could see actual work, or I could see you're trying. I can actually tell when that is occurring, opposed to someone just trying to give you bare minimum to just get you by, or get you to shut up, or get you to not.
Complain,
Yeah.
nag,
The
point
matter
out.
Yeah, like I could tell those differences, and I just feel like I don't want to deal with none of it, because it is, if you just can't be intentional and come correct with me, and this is with family and everybody, I just feel like it's a waste of time, because I feel like the other person is, now I may mess myself up, or my life up, or my whatever, living whatever up, but ultimately that other person is gonna suffer, because I do what you I do things so well, whether that be in a good or a bad way, and I try to avoid being on the bad petty side. I try to avoid trying to do tit for tat stuff. I try to avoid that type of stuff. But once again, sometimes I'll be feeling like I have no other choice. They're not going to feel how I feel. They're not going to any of that unless they get the same thing done that they're telling me, where I can't feel a certain way. I can't look at something a certain way, or my feelings are invalid, or you shouldn't feel this way, or you shouldn't do that. Who are you to tell me? If you're the one that's adding to the reason why I am thinking or feeling that way, you can't also be the one to tell me I can't feel the way that I'm feeling from you adding to that feeling. I just won't accept that at all. And so I hold people accountable, and most of the time it does try to come back to me in a negative way. Most of the time it does. They do make people do try to make me out to be like the villain or the bad person, or oh, you was never like this, or um I don't know this person, blah blah. Yes, you do. Because I said exactly what was going to happen if such and such happened. You just thought like everybody else that I was lying. And I'm not lying.
Right. People
I'm
don't take
not,
true to your
I'm
word.
true to what you just say.
True to your
I'm
word.
true to it. I'm holding on to it. I've never veered from any of it ever. I've always said what I needed to say. I always said what I wanted to say. 98% of the time, I try to think about what I'm saying before I say it, because I also, however, do try to maybe think about what could happen or what someone may response maybe. But that other 2%, sometimes it don't happen and stuff I do just spill out. But I think that way. And I just feel like, so I feel like that's why it's so hard. Long story short, I just feel like it's so hard for me to accept things, trust, physical gifts, any other type of acts of service. Like I just feel like if I can't feel that it's intentional and it's genuine and it's really coming from you just out the kindness of your heart, wanting to give it, do it, have it done or anything, I just won't accept it. I just won't do it. I mean, I just feel like it's saving me. I'm trying to save myself. I'm being selfish. I'm trying to save myself because I know how I'm gonna get. I know how I'm gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like to be that type of person.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I am, I just don't like to be that though. So I try to avoid things like that. And however, though, I also feel what I feel. If I'm if I have a relationship with you, whether that be romantic, family, whatever, if I'm verbalizing something, first of all, I feel like maybe it needs to be a conversation if something gets to a point of somebody expressing something negative that's happening or not happening or what have you, because now there's a disconnection somewhere, right? There's something that's not happening, something that's not getting handled, fixed, something. So, and I just feel like you only have one time to show me. You only got one time. One time to show me that you not really rocking with me like that. And I'm gonna just give that energy back, no matter who it is. Now, I'm gonna show you and I'm gonna pour out myself to you. If you don't receive that, and then I give that energy that you gave to me, it's gonna be hard for me to go back to what I initially was doing or how I was initially, because it's a lot and my stuff be genuine and I don't play. I'm not, I be real about my stuff. And so I want other people to do the same thing. And it's hard for me just to accept any excuse or anything other than, I know we shouldn't expect us from people, but sometimes sense is sense. And I'm not going to say common sense, because your common sense may not be common to me. We may have different type of common senses. So I'm going to just say senses, but what are we doing? You coming correct or no? What's that little, what that say right there? Or no? Which one? Anyway, I'm gonna shut up. But I just I don't know. I just Pimp, you just had you said it though, and I just had to ask that question because that was hitting home a little bit. Like
Yeah.
I do feel like we should show people, or at least tell people how we want to be treated, especially if they can't
Yeah.
tell what they can't see. They act like they have vision problems or something, comprehension
Mm-hmm.
problems. Or something. Yes, of course. Go ahead. But on the flip side of that, teaching someone how to love you versus somebody not
Who's
wanting to
willing?
show and willingly show that they care for you enough to think about you, to do things for you, just sparingly, I feel like that's totally different
Yeah, it is.
and it's not acceptable. Sorry, just for
Mhm.
me. But carry on.
I'm sure you're not the only one.
What you say?
I'm sure you're not the only one.
And it's draining.
It's hella
extremely
draining. Like,
and to the point to where you get numb and you shut down and you just let me be by myself. You ain't gotta be around me. If it's that difficult, if it's that deep, if it's that
Taxing.
that taxing, baby, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead and go back where you came from. Go ahead, go back where you came from. Because nobody got that amount of energy to put towards that. Feel like a black hole, like it ain't going anywhere. No. Anything I give out, I need to receive it.
period. Forget that. Don't expect what you. Yeah, no, I'm expecting it. I'm
I'm
sorry.
expecting
I'm expecting it.
my cup to be filled back up once I pour it out. Hello.
What'd you say? What they do at the restaurants when they see your cup empty
Wanna go,
or low?
please?
Refill. Mm-hmm. Can I get you
Automatically.
another one? You sure can.
They ask, but they don't really be asking because they got the cup before they even finish their sentence.
Exactly. They were exactly. And they
Stop
know when
that.
you get
Like,
low, which means they're being attentive. They're looking.
that's all I'm saying. I just want somebody to. I just want people to be intentional with me. I want people to. I don't want people to take. I don't want people to be in their head, especially if they're not like grounded in where they should be. I don't want them to taint who I am based on their ungroundedness.
Yep.
You know what I mean when I say
Yeah.
that? Like
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Like, yeah, keep that over there and you can't just handle me any type of way. And I used to not know that. I used to just let people handle me anyway and just
I didn't
accept
know my
it.
value. Yeah.
I didn't know my value. The price done went up. And they get mad because the price, they come back and be like, oh,
It didn't
you
go
ain't the
up. I
same.
just didn't know what that was. And
Yep.
and I didn't put that out there. So
Yep.
they didn't know what to
Discount denied.
literally. No family discount, none of that. Baby,
No.
on
oh
full
yeah.
price.
We don't do no 5 fingers over here.
Okay, no clearance, no nothing. I'm the same year round. Baby, you may honestly, it might go up next year.
I was
Quit
just
playing
gonna
with me.
say,
Quit playing with me.
you
This time next
what?
year, it would
You better
not be the
catch
same.
it. You better catch it
Right.
while it's reasonable.
It's a deal now. This is
Mhm.
the deal. Maybe next year I'm gonna be on a whole nother level. Where
And
you
I
gonna
feel
be
like
at?
the more you grow, the more you go through and you grow through, the more I feel like that value goes up because
Mhm.
you're you're coming into yourself more and more. You're understanding yourself more and more. You're getting to know yourself deeply, wholeheartedly, and all that. And you know you're getting to know who you are as authentically and as a person and as a being and as someone that's taking up space. So and the more you know that and find out and the more you come to grips with that, yes, the more your value goes up, the more things you're not gonna want to or will accept, the more things, like, you know what I mean, like the less someone can tell you that you could just let fly or slide by or anything like
And the people who know your value, they won't have any problem paying that.
Exactly.
and they can say, oh well, you accepted this then, or you did this then, or you didn't say nothing then, or that was then, this is
Yep.
now,
Yep.
this is the growth, this is the this is growth right here talking. I'm sorry.
Let go of the old you, boy.
People want you to stay stagnant. People want you to stay where you are or where you were.
Yep.
And that's not always the case for people. Some people do
Evolve.
want to grow and want to evolve. Some people do want to learn more and have more and understand more. And that does come with growth and self-reflection and all that. And some people want to stay where they were and where they are years and years and years ago. And I feel like sometimes that can be toxic.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you know, like if you in a relationship, how do you know, or when do you say enough is enough with that? How do you know when to, like, how much do you try? How much do you give of yourself and still feeling the things that you're feeling, that you're expressing, without you, quote unquote, messing up the dynamic or what have you? Like,
I think the dynamic is going to be messed up regardless if the person don't feel like you have the right to change your mind or to level up. Um, but I think enough is when you start having beef with yourself about some of the things. I've been in that situation with family, romantically. Like, people truly get upset because you choose better. You want to be better. You no longer accept the things that you used to accept, and now it's like, how dare you? And shoot, I done up and left a city and moved to another city behind that because I was no longer willing to accept things that people were trying to force me to accept. And then once they realized they couldn't convince me, here comes the manipulation, the gaslighting, all this, and trying to make me feel bad about myself. When in reality, that was the best decision I could have ever made. Was choosing to level up, choosing to be better, do better, and want better for myself, and realizing like a lot of people can't give that. Some of it requires isolation. Some of it requires new people, new friends, new family, new whatever. Like, and it's not saying that they can never come back, but y'all got to come back a different way. You got to come back some type of healing. Like, go get some help. People don't understand. Like, you got to go get help. Figure out what you need to do to fix whatever you dealing with, because then it's gonna cause a lot of tension between y'all. Because you're starting to heal and they're not. And then now it's like, I want you to be better, I want you to do better, but you're not willing to. And then it's like looking at you like, why now you think you too good? Like, why you was just this way? Right. Now they're like dangling your past decisions, past mistakes, past person in front of your face. And it's like, we all have the chance to grow. Mm-hmm. We really do. It's if you're willing to put in the work.
Yeah. Mm. I think conversations, I think we lack conversations as a whole people now more. I don't think we have enough conversations, and it don't matter the subject or topic. I just feel like we just go with the flow nowadays. Yep. I feel like we just do just because that's just what we feeling like, or that's just what we
are used to.
Yeah.
Used to doing.
But I feel like to really understand things, and I'm not just saying people, I mean just to understand anything, there needs to be conversations going on. I feel like some of us are scared of what may come from certain conversations. Some people don't want to tackle certain things or answer to certain things. And conversations are avoided. And I feel like that messes up relationships. And I don't mean one type of relationship either. I'm just saying relationships in general. I could be talking about a mother-daughter relationship. I could be talking about a actual male-female relationship. I could be talking about a work relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Any type of a mother to child, a father to child. I'm talking about any type, anything. Sometimes we don't even give the space to have open dialogue.
Nope.
And sometimes you gotta just demand it. Some people don't, if you don't show up and start the conversation, it ain't gonna get started.
At
I mean, I
all.
feel like sometimes even with that too, I've found that they are just accustomed to not having conversations in general, and you're talking to the wall, or they'll divert to something else. Like you cannot talk about, like it's like as if they're not. It's not a two-way conversation. Like they can't comprehend what you're saying. There's no way for them to see your point or why it's an issue or why it needs to be talked about. It's just I want to be over it, and it's never a I'm sorry. It's a I'm hungry. Right. What that got to do with the price of rice, but because they know that something is wrong. 9 times out of 10, they probably even know exactly what it is, but you just can't talk about it. You just
Right.
got then
Adjust.
I'll let
Adapt.
you have your time. Right. I'll let you have your time. We can not talk for the rest of the day or for a few hours, and I'm hey, you hungry or are you still mad? Like,
Ugh, I hate that. That triggers me.
Bad. Real bad.
Because F that food. Yeah, I'm hungry.
Right. You better get the what?
That ain't the point. We gonna
at
talk
all.
about it. Like, I don't do that under the carpet stuff no more. I grew up with that all my life. As an adult, I refuse to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Refuse to do that.
Yeah.
Because that's avoiding. And it's like, what's the point of avoiding something that's going to come back up later on? Let's get it over with now.
They're banking on that it's not going to come back up later because you were avoided the first time. So it's going to be a pattern of avoidance.
Yep. And it's going to show up in multiple relationships. People don't think like, oh, what you avoid in this relationship is going to show in another relationship too. Just give it time.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it time.
True. Well, yeah, I think we found a good stopping point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dove pretty deep into love's conditions. How do we let someone know how to love us without literally spelling it out and having to, hold their hand in making sure that they show the proper love and affection, coming correct or not coming at all, elevating our self value, ourselves, and all the great things. I think we covered quite a bit. We will continue discussion on our Facebook page. If you have heard anything in this video that you think we should have expanded on, anything you wanted to add, or if you want to share your personal experience with any of these topics that we've, branched out under the umbrella of love, we would love to hear from you on that on our Facebook page. And we will also post what our episode topic will be for next week. Do any other Sparks have any closing remarks?
I don't.
Just be genuine. everything you do, every step you take, all that, just be genuine with people. Be transparent. It don't cost or hurt. That's it. That's all.
Period. Well, thank you guys again so much for tuning in to Sisterly Sparks. Once again, I'm Orange Spark.
Perp Spark.
And I'm Pink Spark.
And Sisterly Sparks are out. Have a good evening.